If you want to know my opinion on what I think, just keep on watching. Hey guys, what's good? It's your girl Neeciiw here and I'm back with a new video, a huge trigger warning for today's video. So I'm going to be speaking on the Vice Mayor Nancy Bowen. She was unalived by her husband, like huge trigger warning, very shocking. She was just doing so much good for the community. So this is in Florida, in America. And out of all the people, not by a stranger, not by another family member or a fake friend, by your husband. And guys, this man is so demonic. He unalived her and went downstairs and went to sleep. So apparently, the family member that he spoke to, I think it was like his uncle, he was just, I just couldn't take it anymore. Take what? Why didn't you pack up your stuff and leave? You know, like a real man? This is crazy. So I'm gonna roll this news clip and I will be back.
Are you fing serious? The vice mayor of Coral Springs, Nancy Bowen, was found unalived in her home on Wednesday morning, April 1st, in what authorities are describing as a possible domestic violence incident. Her husband has been taken into custody as the sole suspect. This is just devastating news. Nancy Bowen was a true trailblazer in our community, the first Black and Haitian American woman to serve as a Coral Springs commissioner. Her impact on Broward County was real, and her life being taken like this is a heartbreaking loss. This is still an active investigation, so details are limited at the moment. However, the city of Coral Springs held a press conference. This is what they had to say.
Earlier today, April 1st, 2026, we initiated an investigation into the well-being of Vice Mayor Nancy Bowen at approximately 10 a.m. this morning. Once at the residence, we did locate the body of a deceased Black female that we identified as Vice Mayor Nancy Bowen. This is being investigated as a domestic violence incident. Her husband, Stephen Bowen, is in our custody. No additional suspects at this time, and there are no immediate threats to anyone in the public.
Bowen was elected in 2020 and made history through her leadership and service. Right now, Broward County as a whole is grieving and sending love to her family. The city is also hosting a candlelight vigil to celebrate Nancy's life at Coral Springs City Hall on April 3rd from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Please bring white candles and wear or bring orange. This story is truly shocking. Rest in peace, Nancy.
Yes, rest in peace, Nancy. Like prayers and condolences to her family and friends. Like you heard that guy, she was the first black, the first Haitian in her position, and this demonic man had just taken her life away. When they say the good die young, like it's not a lie. Like this is heartbreaking. And yes, DV, domestic violence, like fem genocide, like it, like it's real, like sad. So yes, with this video, please share it up. I want to spread awareness, and yes, just rest in peace to Nancy Bowen. But yes, guys, let's get into some people's reactions.
Hi, my name is Nancy Bowen, and I am the Vice Mayor of the City of Coral Springs. I ran for office because I believe representation matters. Our communities deserve leaders who reflect their lived experiences and who will fight to make government more accountable, transparent, and fair. For me, good governance means putting people first, listening, engaging, and making decisions that serve the public, not politics.
That woman, Nancy Bowen, was killed yesterday. They found her body in her home in Coral Springs, Florida. Her husband, Stephen Bowen, he is currently in custody. To make this even worse, Nancy and her family recently buried her brother, and now they have to bury her. Black women are killed at higher rates than any other race of women when it comes to IPV in this country. I made a video about Black femicide. If you want to watch it, it is pinned at the top of my profile. It's never easy making these videos about Black women being killed, but I make them because I care. And because I want this to stop.
Some shit you just don't expect to read. Some headlines you just don't expect. And that applies to so many headlines that came out this week. But I want to talk about the murder of Nancy Metayer. Nancy Metayer. I'm not going to say her other last name that is attached to that man who has taken her life. I can't remember directly meeting Nancy, but I know I've been in the same rooms as her because I used to work for a Haitian nonprofit when I lived in Florida, and it's a very tight knit community. And so I know I've been in the same rooms as her. When I read the headline that she was found dead in her home, the air was knocked out of my lungs. It was the most random headline I could have ever read. And I've read more about it. She didn't show up to work on Wednesday, and so her colleagues got worried, called her husband, who said, "Oh, I just texted her, she's not picking up." She didn't respond because he killed her. And I watched the video of him being arraigned, and he looks completely nonchalant. He needs to have his day in court, but the cops were on his ass the moment that they ended up doing a wellness check, a welfare check. Couldn't, of course, like break down the door because they didn't have a warrant. And then I believe his uncle reached out to them and was like, "Hey, my nephew told me that like he did something to her and she's no longer alive." And so then they were able to go in even though they don't have a warrant. And he is being charged with first-degree murder, premeditated, and with tampering with evidence. Because he told his mother, but he told his mother the day before he killed her that he had a panic attack. And so he was going to talk to his wife, Nancy, about it. And they found a pillow that he apparently used as a silencer. He used a shotgun to take her life. And apparently they believe that he murdered her at night, Tuesday night, upstairs in their bedroom, and then went downstairs and went to sleep. The police have evidence of him trying to get rid of the gun, of removing the tags from his car. And when his uncle asked him why did he do it, he said he couldn't take it anymore. Couldn't take what? You couldn't take what anymore? People are saying they were high school sweethearts. They got married in 2022, so almost 3 years ago. No one has identified any red flags. Everybody's shocked that this happened, that he would do this. No red flags, but of course the police are treating this as a domestic violence situation, but no red flags. The Miami Herald asked the police department, Coral Springs police department, for like records because they're trying to see if there are any calls made from the house about like domestic disturbance. The police department denied the request because now whatever records exist, whether they exist or not, that's part of an active investigation. So they didn't give the Herald access. But he couldn't take it anymore. Couldn't take what? Her talent, her ambition, her drive, her light. He has robbed her of her life, robbed her family, robbed her communities, plural, not just the Haitian community, but the community of Coral Springs, the community of South Florida, the community of Florida. She was vice mayor, elected twice, to the city council, and she was planning a run for Congress, and she was going to announce that run today, Thursday. She was going to announce her run for Congress. And this man took everything from her and from her family. And it's so damn tragic and heartbreaking. And she lost her brother last December. I remember reading that story. He died by suicide. He was a survivor of the Stoneman Douglas shooting that happened a few years ago, and he died by suicide. So she lost her brother, was still grieving that, and her family was still grieving that, and now they're having to grieve her because this fucking demon took her life. That story, what he said to his mom, he had a panic attack, so he's gonna go talk to, that is so random. And the articles that I've read have not said anything about his situation. The Miami Herald did a profile on him, Not a whole lot of information. He belonged to a Masonic lodge, and I believe when he was trying to get rid of the gun, he was trying to give it to his like lodge brother. He identified as a Freemason. He owned a nonprofit. No, like he was like busted for like marijuana or whatever, but like nothing major traffic violations. He had those, but like nothing, like no red flags, no apparent red flags so far. And so it's like, is it just a case of a violent man, a violent spouse, or did he have something going on? Did he actually have a panic attack, or was he planning a story with his mother? Like, is everything okay? Not that that's an excuse, but it would be part of an explanation. It's tragic. He's been arrested. We'll see what happens with his trial and what else comes out. They snatched his ass up real quick, found him real quick, and are finding a boatload of evidence about how he planned this and then tampered with evidence and tried to get away with it. I don't think he was planning to get away with it, because he told his uncle he's gonna go meet with a lawyer and was waiting for his uncle to provide the lawyer for him. Anyways, Nancy was a bright light, had a bright future, and this man snuffed it out. The Miami Herald ran a very nice profile on her, about her accomplishments, about who she was, about what she meant to her family, to her community. Her colleagues in politics said a lot of great things about her. She was also an environmental scientist. And I hope this man gets thrown in the deepest, darkest, dankest part of the jail.
Even though we don't have a whole lot of details about the death of the Vice Mayor, Nancy Mateo Brown, and the DV around that, which is one reason why I haven't talked about it yet. There's not a whole lot of information, but I do want to use this as an example of why Black women face so much more danger. Especially when it comes to domestic violence. I mean, in general, in every area, but especially domestic violence. Because unlike me, and if I call the cops, Black women face a whole lot of other risks to themselves, to their community. They're less likely to be believed. Whereas when I called the cops, I mean, let's be real. When I reported DV from my ex, they didn't do anything. But he's a white man. One thing I never had to worry about was them shooting me for reporting it. Them showing up and literally taking my life, which has happened many times. I mean, there's a story in the news regularly about this. I don't have to worry about someone else in my house getting shot. I really don't have to worry about someone literally being murdered by the police if I call for help. I don't face the same stigmas. I also don't have a long history of over-policing of me and my community, and therefore also feeling very protective of the person who may be hurting me. Like so I'm going to go over some of that in a minute. First, I just want to talk about her. People have written to me from this town and how devastated this community is. I just want to say a few things. I mean, the only thing that I've been able to find in terms of a motive is the thing that her husband, Stephen, said. He couldn't take it anymore. To me, and what a lot of speculation is that this man was probably very jealous of her success. I mean, jealous men, insecure men are the most dangerous people you can ever get involved with. He admitted it. He admitted he did this. He admitted it to his uncle. Latest update I saw was April 9th, okay? Everything else is from like a week ago, 5 days ago. But this is the most recent thing I've seen, that there were calls made to this house. In hindsight, investigators say the husband's relatives appeared to already know what happened. They were worried about her. The caller pleaded with dispatchers to force entry into the home. Tell them to break down the door by whatever means. This dispatcher responded, "Ma'am, I understand we're worried about her. We're trying to find her, but you can't just break down the door. We have to have a reason." Moments later, a man identified as suspect's uncle told this dispatcher, "I'm going to give you a reason, okay? My nephew, her husband, came to my house this morning and told me he did something to her." I asked if she was alive. He said no. So apparently, 911... this is the 6th call for services at this residence since they moved in August 2023. So that's not even 3 years, and this is the 6th call. Now I don't know what those calls were. There was the calls include a disturbance, a theft, animal bites, and another investigation. Though there's no details. This is a family member, but they're talking about losing Nancy. talking about how she was preparing to announce her congressional run, a run she would have won, and we were eager to celebrate. An insecure man is a dangerous man. A jealous and envious man can kill. If he can't celebrate you, protect yourself. Your success is not a problem. Your growth is not a threat. Choose safety at the first sign. Choose yourself quickly. Do not build your life with someone who needs you to feel small, small and feel insignificant. And then posted all this stuff about the national, if you know someone who's in danger. So I don't remember which family member this was. I don't even know if it was said. I just saw it posted, and under, an article was talking about people are like, oh, this man was jealous. So I think the family is being very private right now. They're very devastated, but I wouldn't be surprised if we find in the coming months of a lot of stuff that was going on behind closed doors. Here's the thing. Men know that public-facing women are going to face even more scrutiny than the average woman, right? I mean, I don't even want to put myself in the category with her, but Ms. Aisha, who I've had on lives over on Patreon, she's the one who really helped me understand how much social media was used to keep me in a bad relationship. And that man knew it. And, even now, this is one reason why I don't talk about my husband. I'm like, you know what? He's got his thing. I've got my career. My career is not based on my marriage. My career, it's just a detail of my life. I happen to be married. I got married at like 42 after being single most of my life and almost dying because of one relationship. But I learned from that one relationship that men will use the internet and your public face, like you being more famous than them, more successful than them or whatever. They will be jealous of you. They will use that against you. They will sabotage it. They will do all kinds of stuff. And so, God, I can't imagine. I really think, besides all the things I've already talked about, I wouldn't be surprised if her being a politician and being in the public spotlight, having so much pressure on her, being such a huge community organizer, to then realize that you're married to a dangerous man who's could kill you. The optics of that, I'm not a bit surprised. I'm not a bit surprised that this, if this was ongoing, which I'm almost certain it was. I'm not a bit surprised it was a secret. Being in a relationship with a dangerous man who's abusing you, even if it's not physical, if it's emotional, if it's sexual, whatever, it is humiliating. It's isolating. It's humiliating. Your mind forked all the time. But then being a politician on top of that, who is loved and respected in your community, and you are a front-facing person, and you're a representative of your community, especially as a black woman, and all of the shit she's facing because of that. The pressure to probably protect that man or his image, and when women are men's PR machine already, the pressure for her to maintain a secret around her private life and who she's married to, I could see her being cornered by this. I don't know. I'm I'm a little bit more subdued today. This story really upset me, honestly. And whatever. I honestly hadn't even thought about this part until just now, of like how much being like that, like I write about my life, right? It's different. I talk about my life, but I also talk about culture, which is why I've shifted more into that. But I can't imagine being a politician. Oh my God. I'm curious how many female politicians might be in abusive relationships because they're cornered. Anyway.
He couldn't take it anymore. The justification to murdering his wife is that he couldn't take it anymore. I thought to myself that the man who asked me to be his person completely switching, and it's not even completely switching like, oh, I changed my mind and I'm telling you I changed my mind. Just a complete 180. I thought that it was something or someone. I'm not insecure enough to let someone go because of situations like this. There's no way that somebody so bright, so talented, and with a future ahead of her without that husband can sit there and have the gumption to say, I've had enough. You've had enough. You could have walked away. A divorce is just, you've had enough. These men hate us. What's the point of getting married? I was just telling myself the other day that it would probably be easier for me just to find a committed lover to have a family with than to find a husband, because it'll be a man that will come to you and say, you know what, I want to do this with you. I want to do life with you. I want you to be my person, and will not have the gumption enough to say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. You will either completely stonewall that person or you will kill them. And I'm thinking about him right now. I'm glad that he doesn't answer my phone calls, because he probably would have killed me.
At some point, we're going to have to start teaching young girls, young teenagers, young women that getting married is not a life goal. We need to start instilling in them that your worth is not dependent on having a man. Because it's that mentality that leads to situations like Nancy Bowen. For those who don't know, I'm referring to the highly accomplished deputy mayor from Florida who was unalived by her husband. This extremely talented, successful, accomplished woman who was serving her community is no longer with us because of a man. A man that, let's be real, she probably didn't need. So now a community no longer has its deputy mayor, a family no longer has their child, and we, the world, lose an incredible talent who knows what she could have done in this world and in this life. Why? Because of some loser dude. I don't know what her specific situation was, but there are so many women in general, but especially highly intelligent, highly accomplished, highly independent women out here putting themselves in danger by being with abusive men, being in relationships with these men because they think they have to, because that's what makes them accomplished, despite all of the other accomplishments in their life. We desperately need to deconstruct this idea that no matter how accomplished of a woman you are, you're still not quite accomplished if you're not married and you don't have a family. We're losing some of our best soldiers to that mentality.
And y'all see what I mean when I say that these men don't like women and they hate women? Nancy Bowen, her husband just unalived her for no reason, basically. Because he was jealous of her success. He said he had enough. But what did he had enough of? She was a very successful congresswoman and he didn't like that. So he unalived her just because he was jealous. That's why I always say that men don't like women. They don't want to see women win. They don't want to see women be more successful than them, and they just don't like women. I always say this, and it's true. Like every day, like you'll see the reasons why men don't like women and why men are DL, because they're just jealous. Rest in peace to Nancy Bowen, though.
There's this one quote that I will never forget. It comes from a video game where the main character is being mentored by a pastor named Father James. And Father James says to the main character, when a bad person passes away, somebody who's on earth not doing good and they're never on the right path, when they pass away, there's a very high chance we get another person that's just like them. But when a good person passes away, somebody who's always on the right path, trying to do good on earth and trying to spread good to the people on earth, when they pass away, it's slim to none that we get another person that's just like that. So we have to protect those type of people. Nancy was those type of people. Me and Nancy worked together for a long time under the same political organization. And when she was running for commissioner, I was helping her with her campaign and different stuff like that. She's the first Black Haitian American female commissioner in Coral Springs. And not only did she do that once, she was reelected. And then she became the vice mayor of Coral Springs. And I feel like these are the type of things we need to start remembering about people. Now, nobody lives forever. Physically, eventually, your body got to go. But how you can live forever is through the minds of the people. How they remember you, how they talk about you, how they spread your legacy. And somebody like Nancy needs to be talked about continuously. Not only because of her impact on earth, but her inspiration, if not already, but possibly to the kids in the neighborhood. The boys and the girls, they can look at her as a reference and understand this can be done. You need to tell your daughters about Nancy, the woman who went to FAMU and got her bachelor's in science. You need to tell your sons about Nancy, the woman who went to Johns Hopkins and got her master's in health science. You need to tell your brothers, your sisters, your daddies, your aunties, your uncles about Nancy, the first Haitian Black American female commissioner in Cold Springs. She found a way to fight for the people, to fight for the environment, to fight for the community from the bottom all the way to the top. From grassroots work to government elected official, she found a way to get it done. And that's why we need to remember Nancy. We need to fight for Nancy. We need to spread Nancy's legacy. But most importantly, we need to protect people like Nancy. Because like Father James told Clay, when we find somebody who's good like this, somebody who's trying to do the right things, somebody who's on the right path and trying to do good by the people, and we lose them, it's a very slim chance that we get somebody like that again. Rest in peace to Nancy. Thank you for all the work you've done on earth. I think it's the people's time to return that favor to you. In the meantime, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. You know I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. But if I don't, stay out of trouble.
Listen, they say that you're not supposed to leave your marriage at the first sign of trouble, but have y'all heard about the mayor that just was unalived by her husband? Unalived by her husband. Not only did he unalive her, but he left her upstairs and went to sleep downstairs. Okay? And then when they entered the house, when they looked around, they actually found a makeshift silencer. A makeshift silencer, a pillow with string wrapped around it and 3 burn holes because he must have muffled the sound of the going off when he did what he did to her. Okay? Now, when they asked him, well, why did you do this? This man said, oh, I couldn't take it anymore. Now, what caused them to look for her was she was due to work the next day. Nobody could find her. They contacted this man to see had they heard from her. He heard from her. And he actually said, oh, she's just not getting the phone. So this was actually thought out. Okay? And then they said that he was having panic attacks. So they tried to make it a mental health issue. Pardon. So for him to act like, oh yeah, I was having panic attacks, I couldn't help it, I couldn't take it anymore, and then he tried to call one of his colleagues to come get the case that he hold in, please. Then he told the uncle the only reason that police ever entered the building when they were trying to do the wellness check was because he already told the uncle that he had did something to her the night before. Yeah, so you're supposed to trust this person that when y'all having issues, that I'm just gonna go to sleep, we gonna wake up and we gonna be okay the next day. Yeah, that's what they say.
The moment you notice a man attempting to siphon your energy or even destiny swap with you, you need to get him as far away from you as possible. Because a lot of men show love and connection through trying to copy, siphon, take, recreate the energy from the woman that they're receiving it from. So that is their love language. Siphoning is their love language. And it's all fine and dandy until you're actually doing something that you really care about or something that really matters, or you have a true sense of self. Because I've noticed that women who don't have a sense of self don't find this to be as irritating and as disrespectful as it actually is. But women who have established themselves and created something for themselves and have good ideas and have good stories and good things about themselves that they know is like their own experience, seeing someone attempt to siphon from that or recreate or copy or duplicate your energy is pissed off worthy. You don't give him another opportunity to do it again. You get out of there quickly. Because this is how he shows love. This is how he shows care. This is how he shows adoration. By mimicking.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I don't think now is the time for women specifically to focus on any type of dating or relationship type stuff. I don't think now is the time. Y'all can do what you want to do. Everybody is adults. You're free to do what you want to do. But in this climate, with everything that is going on, I strongly recommend women truly, if you don't have people in your life that can really vet the person that you are talking to, and that person really show up in a way that they respect you, they have a deep respect for women, they honor women, they understand the importance of what women bring, I think you should leave every one of these men alone. Seriously. It is too dangerous right now.
So here we have another unfortunate case of femicide. The men that are supposed to protect and provide, they are literally perpetuating the crimes that are ending our lives. They are literally perpetuating the crimes that are ending our lives. This is a 38-year. Keep in mind that the statistics for last year just came out about femicide for black women. Every 21 hours, a black lady is dying at the hands of IPV, intimate partner violence. That's just for black women alone every 21 hours. This lady, she is 38 years old, vice mayor, in the process of running for Congress, a pillar in her community, educated, ambitious, loving. Nobody had any bad thing to say about her. All good words. All good words. She just lost her brother too. The family just finished burying her brother. Now they have to bury her all because she was married to a man, a jealous man, jealous of her career. When they asked him the reason, the only thing he can say was that he was tired. You were tired? So you're tired and you took somebody else's life. Not your own. I can't even say that, but you guys get my drift. He was tired, but he took his wife's life. Do you know that this man shot his wife 3 times and he used a pillow as a silencer? He didn't shoot her once, not even 3 times. And guess what? He fell asleep after. He fell asleep after. He didn't call the police. People had to realize that she didn't go to work the next morning before they started calling him around, before he admitted to his crime. And now he's alive, but he's in jail while this lady's life was just cut short at the hands of her husband, the person that is supposed to protect her, the person that is supposed to provide for her. He failed. Not only did he fail, but he committed the crime. Women are tired. Black women are tired. Every 21 hours, a black woman is dying at the hands of IPV. Every 21 hours. At this point, women are not even asking for protection. They're not even asking for provision. We just want to exist. We just want to exist safely. I need you guys to understand that we would not need any form of protection if y'all would just leave women alone.
Caribbean people, we mourn the loss of Vice Mayor Nancy Bowen, the first female black and Haitian American commissioner of Coral Springs, Florida. And before anything else, I must give my deepest condolences to her family, to her friends, her loved ones, all those that are grieving, to Coral Springs, to Florida, and to the wider Haitian and Caribbean diaspora, my deepest condolences. Now, Vice Mayor Bowen was found dead in her home, and her husband has been charged with the murder. Now, in other comment sections of other videos regarding said tragedy, I saw women advising other women that at the first sign of domestic abuse, of violence, that they should leave. They should run, they should find ways to get out. But what I didn't see was men telling other men to not kill their wives. I can only wonder what stories like this does to the psyche of a woman. As a man, I truly wonder, because women are taught from young that men are there to protect and provide from them, but at the same time, they're supposed to protect themselves from the protectors. And then one day they may fall in love and get married to a man that before God and family says, I will provide and protect you, but then turns around and does the opposite. Murders the woman he said he would protect. Fellas, we must do better. We must, myself included, we must do better. Especially us as black men, as Caribbean men, we must do better. We must teach our young boys to keep their hands to themselves, to only touch a woman when she consents to it. That violence against women is absolutely unacceptable. There should not be a month dedicated to domestic violence awareness, but there is. So we must do better. Now to you, Vice Mayor Bowen, you were a gem. You put in the work for the people of Coral Springs, for the wider Haitian diaspora. You did the work, and for that, we give you your flowers. And now may you rest in paradise. Okay, bye.
Nicely said, and yes, rest in paradise. And yeah, I hope they give him life without parole. This demonic man, he doesn't need to be on the roads, on the street ever again. Once again, rest in peace to Nancy Bowen. Condolences and prayers to her family. And please share out this video. I want to spread awareness. But like he said, any signs of red flags, a man putting hands or feet on you, you know, we have like Bad Girls Club, all these things, Krishan and Blueface, like they're making it to the next generation look good, or this fighting. Like, no, absolutely not. Women shouldn't be putting their hands on men and vice versa. But yeah, I feel like when you get into a marriage relationship, you have to put your foot down at certain things and leave. With me, cheating, there's no coming back. Putting hands on me, no coming back. Even speaking to me crazy, like, listen, I will leave because I can find someone out there who will speak to me nice, speak to me correctly, treat me and protect me. Like he said, you've promised her family, you know, you got married, you took a devotion of God to provide, to protect her, to love her, you know, better for worse, and you take her life away. So yes, ladies, even fellas, you know, guys be getting abused also. So yeah, any red flags in your relationship and marriage, please do leave. But yes, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe and share. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one.